Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at this really amazing story. It's a multi-generational family saga from Laos.
Yeah, it's incredibly rich, full of insights into, karma, relationships, the spiritual path. It almost reads like a living text.
Exactly. And you shared some incredible sources with us. So our mission, like always, is to pull out the key insights, the surprising facts from this really deep family history.
Sort of a shortcut to understanding how past actions really do connect to what's happening now.
Right. We'll help you navigate it, see those threads that maybe aren't always obvious running through the generations. Okay, so let's unpack this, starting with the maternal grandfather, his life. Wow, it was this remarkable cycle, almost hard to believe.
Really was something else.
Yeah, he'd ordain as a monk, live this spiritual life, but then he'd get really sick, mysteriously ill.
hmm
And the only thing that seemed to work was for him to disrobe, go back to lay life, and often get married. He actually had 5 wives over his lifetime.
5 wives, yeah. And
Yeah.
the health aspects is key.
Right, because once he disrobed, he'd get better. Miraculously, almost. Which would lead him to ordain again.
And then the cycle would just repeat until he finally passed away, still a monk, at 83.
It's just an astonishing pattern. Kind of paradoxical, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And what's really going on here, karmically speaking, well, it tells you a lot about the power of personal intention.
Okay.
So in a past life, this grandfather, he made a really strong personal vow, basically to himself.
To himself, not like to a deity or anything.
No, that's the interesting part. He intended deeply that if he ever disrobed as a monk, he would get sick or maybe even die.
Wow.
And that powerful personal intention, even though it wasn't formal, it created this persistent karmic pattern.
So that's why he got sick when he disrobed, and better when he reordained.
Exactly. His own mind, his own deep belief, essentially set the stage for this whole lifelong cycle.
That's just, wow, a self-imposed karmic loop playing out over decades, shaping his health, his marriages, everything.
That's a stark example.
So if these, deeply personal intentions, even ones we aren't consciously aware of, can do that, how do we even start to recognize the unconscious vows we might be carrying around?
Well, that's a huge question, isn't it? It often comes down to mindfulness, really.
Yeah.
Noticing the recurring patterns in our own lives. Health, relationships, finances. Where do things keep repeating? The grandfather's story is just such a vivid picture of how these deep convictions, whether they make sense or not, can literally write our reality. It really pushes us to look at our own deepest intentions.
Okay, so what happened to him after this incredibly complex life?
Well, he was reborn as a khanten.
A content. What's that exactly?
It's a type of celestial musician or spirit known for their artistry and beauty. They live in the mythical Himalayan forest.
So like a deity.
More like a general level forest dweller, actually. Not a high god, but living a life of ease, creativity, lots of music.
So good rebirth, despite the cycles and vows.
It seems so. It suggests that despite all the struggles with the vow and the multiple marriages, his consistent return to the monkhood, his devotion there, carried a lot of positive weight. It led him to a place of peace and art.
It's a powerful reminder then, isn't it, about how much our inner commitments shape our destiny here and hereafter, even the informal one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The unseen power of intention is immense.
Okay, let's shift focus now to the mother in this story. Her life seems equally compelling, but marked by a lot of hardship, abandonment, marital problems.
Indeed. A very different kind of challenge. Her early abandonment, being orphaned and separated from her father,
Yeah.
well, that ties directly back to karma from a past life.
Yeah.
In that life, she had been a man who abandoned his own family.
Whoa, a direct mirror.
Exactly. That karmic echo we talk about. You experience what you've caused others to experience. But, it wasn't all negative.
How so?
There was also positive karma at play. She was raised by her grandmother's sister, which was fortunate. And that's put down to past merit from assisting relatives.
Ah, okay. So different karmic threads weaving together, sometimes softening the blow of others.
Precisely. But the challenges definitely continued into her adult life, especially with relationships.
The forced marriage, right, at age 20.
Yes. And that also has a karmic root. In another past life, she'd been a man in an agricultural society who himself forced his descendants into marriages he arranged.
So she experienced the lack of choice she once imposed.
Exactly. Another direct karmic reflection.
And then the story about her first husband's death, that gets really intricate.
It does. This is where you see the cycles playing out over multiple lives. His violent death, killed by a robber.
Yes.
It traces back lifetimes to a point where both the husband and the robber were like officials, police, or maybe royal guards.
Okay.
And her husband in that life had seriously wronged the other man, used his power unjustly, got him dismissed.
Creating a deep grievance.
A huge one. It sparked this intense vow of revenge in the man who was wronged. And that set off a cycle, a multi-generational cycle where they've basically been finding each other and killing each other in life after life.
Good heavens, that's intense. The power of a vow for revenge.
It's a stark reminder, isn't it,
Mm-hmm.
about unresolved anger. And after this life's death, her first husband went to a realm called Yaksa.
Which is
That's a realm of general-level Yaksha celestial beings. Yakshas are powerful spirits, sometimes helpful, sometimes fierce, often tied to nature. It suggests a mix of karma, landing him in a sort of lower celestial realm.
okay. And her own health issues later in life. The heart disease, gallstones at 83.
That was linked to accumulated karma. Things like killing animals for food over lifetimes, exploiting animals for labor, but also holding on to grudges in past lives in this
It
one.
all adds up.
It really does. These things, even if they seem small at the time, they accumulate. But then there was that remarkable recovery she had.
Right. You mentioned that. Not a complete cure, but significant improvement.
Yes. And that's credited directly to your merits, the merits you made more recently. Specifically, building a Buddha image and bringing your mother to the temple.
My merits. How does that work?
That positive action, that merit, was so powerful it could actually alleviate some of her heavy past negative karma. It shows how present actions can genuinely impact these long-standing patterns.
That idea of the karmic echo is just so clear here. Actions bouncing across lifetimes. Could you maybe give another example from the sources, something that shows that kind of reflection?
Absolutely. Sticking with the mother, her second husband, abandoning her while she was pregnant.
Yes, another hardship.
That was also linked back to her own past karma, specifically karma, sexual misconduct, or womanizing karma from a life when she was man.
So having caused abandonment through that kind of behavior, she experienced it herself.
Precisely. It's that mirroring effect again.
And does this mean even small good deeds, like you mentioned with the Buddha image, can really make a difference against heavy karma?
Oh, absolutely. When done with sincere intention, yes. A single act of real compassion, like the one you undertook, creates positive ripples. It can help counterbalance long-standing negativity. Think of it like diluting dark ink with clear water. Consistent positive action has real power.
That highlights the impact, positive and negative, across time. But it also gives a sense of agency, maybe, that present merit can really influence things. That's quite empowering.
It is. We aren't just puppets of the past.
Okay, let's move on to your sisters. Their stories seem to take an even more extraordinary turn, more mystical.
Yes, definitely stepping into connections beyond the everyday human experience.
Let's start with the eldest sister. That intense connection to water, especially around ages 16, 17, crying, restless, only finding relief near water.
Right. That points to a very specific past life. She was a Naga Maravika.
A female Naga, like the serpent beings.
Exactly. Mythical beings linked to water, often with spiritual power. And in her case, her Naya husband from that past life was actively trying to pull her back.
Pull her back.
Using mantras, spiritual incantations, trying to make her distressed, uncomfortable, disoriented, unless she was near water. It was his way of trying to, well, reclaim her for the Naga world.
Wow. So her relief near water, especially the Mekong River, which brought a lasting cure, that was a direct link.
A direct, undeniable link. She had this deep, inherent familiarity with water. An elemental connection, almost. The Mekong, being such a significant river, resonated deeply with her past Naga self. That's why it worked.
And how did she break free from that pull?
Through sincere prayer and making a vow in the temple. That, combined with her own past merits she'd accumulated, was strong enough to break the husband's influence.
So spiritual practice offered protection.
Yes. It shows how personal spiritual effort can counter even strong pulls from past lives. And even now, her worshipping Naga statues.
Yeah.
It reflects that deep, maybe subconscious connection, a sort of symbolic echo of her past identity.
That is extraordinary. An active influence from a past, non-human life. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many of our own weird affinities or fears might be echoes like that?
It certainly opens up possibilities. And then, the middle sister, with the Mayanang spirits in her boat.
Right, the guardian spirits in the wood. Were they real?
According to the source, yes, very real. They were identified as Konthan, or maybe tree spirits, residing in the boat's actual wood, and they confirmed this.
And she could communicate with them.
Yes. Apparently, they had a shared history of making merit together in the past. That shared good karma created a bond.
Allowing them to communicate and even protect her, like pushing people off the boat.
That's what the source suggests, yes. An example of how positive connections can lead to companionship and protection across lifetimes.
Amazing. But then there's the story of her husband, a much darker outcome.
A very stark contrast, yes. He died at 59 after heavy drinking. And because of that, severe karma related to alcohol consumption.
He went where?
Directly to Mahanrat Kum 5, the fifth great hell.
Oh dear, that sounds intense.
It is. These aren't eternal hells in this tradition, but realms of intense purification for negative actions. He's described as being forced to drink hot black acid.
A symbolic cleansing for the alcohol abuse.
And a literal one, reflecting the suffering caused. And it's important to note, any merits people try to send him now, they don't reach him yet.
Why not?
They're held at Yamalok, the underworld court. They wait until he finishes his time, his purification in that specific hell. Only then can the merits help him on his further journey.
That's a powerful lesson in accountability. Are there specific actions that trigger such immediate, severe consequences, or is it always just an accumulation?
It's often a mix. But actions causing direct harm, violating core precepts like avoiding intoxicants, or acts driven by really deep hatred or greed, those can definitely trigger faster, more intense results. With alcohol, it's the pattern, the undermining of oneself, the potential harm to others. It all adds up heavily.
Right.
Okay, let's turn now to your own story, your personal journey. It started with some significant challenges, marital, financial, before you found this powerful path forward.
Yes. Your journey really shows how we can navigate and even transform these difficult karmic landscapes.
So the first husband, non-providing, abusive. How is that explained?
That's seen as a direct result of your own past karma, sexual misconduct or womanizing karma from a life when you were a man.
My own past karma.
Yes. That specific karma brought you a husband who mirrored those failings, not providing, causing suffering. It's a precise karmic reflection, difficult as it is to hear sometimes.
Okay, and the second husband, and the issues with his mother.
Well, the mother-in-law's hatred seemed to stem more from her own prejudice, him marrying a divorced woman, not necessarily a direct past karmic link between you two.
Ah, her own issues then.
Right. But the husband's womanizing, his abuse, the conflict there, that is linked back to your own past common karma again.
So my past actions created the situation. Essentially, yes. It's important to grasp this. There wasn't necessarily a direct past life incident where you wronged them specifically, but your own past karma created the conditions for you to encounter this type of suffering, attracting people who would play out that dynamic with you.
I see. And the huge financial loss, losing the restaurant, being evicted.
That's also linked to a past life of your own. In that life, you, as a man, had driven away a wife and her helpers, or maybe driven out a former wife after taking a new one.
So I experienced the loss I once inflicted.
A painful echo, yes. Experiencing that distress and displacement. And interestingly, your daughter also shared similar past karma related to expelling a previous wife, which contributed to her own struggles and this shared difficult experience.
And my daughter's stubbornness now, getting in with bad friends.
That's seen as habits carrying over from past lives. She does have positive merit too, there's hope there, but these tendencies are strong.
Does my parenting play a role?
The sources suggest that perhaps some indulgence, combined with the social environment, might have reinforced those past habits rather than challenged them.
So what's the guidance for her?
Patience is key. Patient guidance, encouraging her to seek out kalyanamit, spiritual friends, wise companions, people who can be a positive influence.
Okay.
And also helping her study the Dharma, the Buddha's teachings, understanding karma, understanding life, that builds wisdom and helps her make better choices for herself.
So looking at all this, these really deep karmic challenges running through the family, through my own life, yet you found this incredibly powerful way forward through making merit.
Exactly. It shows we aren't just stuck.
Tell us about the impact of that merit, especially establishing the Dharma Center.
Oh, it's immense. Truly transformative. That kind of effort, establishing a place for Dharma practice, generates vast positive energy, not just for you, but for many.
How does it help my situation?
It directly works to alleviate your current difficult karma. It helps prevent future poverty. It attracts good, righteous people into your life, companions, supporters. And ultimately, it paves the way for clear spiritual insight, for enlightenment. It fundamentally shifts your karmic path.
And my connection and my daughters to the spiritual group.
You've both accumulated Barami merit, perfections with this group over lifetimes, but the sources say it's been inconsistent.
Inconsistent, meaning?
Meaning, sometimes you connect with the group in one life, sometimes you miss them. Consistent effort in making merit together strengthens those bonds, making future positive connections more certain.
So the path forward is more merit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Keep making merits diligently. And crucially, practice non-resentment. Let go of grudges to break those cycles of conflict we saw earlier.
And pray.
Yes,
Yeah.
pray that these karmic debts don't follow you into future lives. It's about active engagement, consciously shaping your future and your family's future karma.
Your story is just such a powerful example of that. Using merit making, spiritual practice, as a direct response to life's hardest challenges. It really shows that consistent effort is the key, doesn't it? To actually change the narrative.
It truly is. You are actively sculpting a different outcome.
Wow. We have covered so much ground in this deep dive. The intricate ways karma works across lifetimes.
Stretching back so far.
Yeah, and the surprising power of just personal intentions, those vows people make even to themselves.
How they can shape a whole life.
And the reality of these unseen spiritual connections, Nagas, spirits, actually influencing things.
Tangibly influencing events.
And maybe most importantly, the real, undeniable impact of making merit, of spiritual practice in changing our present and our future.
It gives us tools to work with.
It really does. It's been an incredible look at this family's journey and a powerful reminder that we do have agency in our own spiritual path.
Which brings up, I think, an important question for everyone listening. If our past actions clearly resonate in our present life, our health, relationship situations, how do we consciously apply these insights every day? How do we shift from just, reacting to what life throws at us, and instead actively use this understanding to, sculpt a more harmonious future for ourselves, for others, moment by moment, choice by choice?
That is a powerful thought to leave everyone with, a real invitation to reflect. Thank you so much for sharing your family's incredibly rich story and allowing us this really profound, deep dive.
Thank you for the opportunity to explore it.
And to you listening, we encourage you to continue your own journey of discovery, of merit making. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.